There we go. I'm alive, and the world shines for me today. I'm here. I'm not queer. Get used to it. I don't know. It's just random things that are going through my head at 9 o'clock at night. Carla Jane, high fives, my friend. What a day we've had, huh? Huh? You trying to do your good stuff for your mom, me trying to do good stuff for people on the TikTok. We're doing okay, though, right? How about this? You and I are in the same time zone, right? Eastern? If not even, well, no, you'll be an hour early. Make sure you get to bed at a decent hour tonight, okay? That's what I'm going to do. As soon as this TikTok live is over, I was too lazy to even get in my half pajamas tonight. When I am done with this TikTok live, I'm going to hop into my little pajamas. I'm going to get into bed. I probably will scroll on TikTok for a little bit, but then I'm going to honk some shoes, as we like to say. But while we're here, let's have some fun. Let's spend some quality time together. Yeah, that one persona. Hello, cozy friend. You know it. I'm all about the cozy. I am. All right, Gen X, I hear you. Yep, it's my bedtime at the end of this live. Got to work in the morning. I will say this. I'm not averse to having somebody like I sit at my desk. I thought about this at the beginning on Sunday when I decided to show up for 22 TikTok lives, something like that. I thought, oh, it might be fun to like do one in bed. I was afraid I'd fall asleep, you know? Okay, there we go. All right. Yay. Yay. Carla Jane, you are doing such good stuff, you know? Judy, to be honest, I am not packed barely at all, but it's okay. I love this in the fact that I'm not stressed about my packing. I have a pile of things over here. I have my carry-on. I have my my underseat, my above the top. I've got a stuff. Cool thing is, and I'll share this with you, the more you practice something, the easier it gets and less stressed out you get about it. I am going to throw a bunch of black clothes in my suitcase. I'm going to do the best I can, and if I forget something, I'm gonna buy it there. Okay? So no, I'm not all packed for tomorrow, but I'll be honest with you. One of the things I'm even more not stressed about, but I want to make sure I do tomorrow when as far as packing goes, is I want to make sure I download my TikTok, my favorites on TikTok. Yeah. So this is funny. Yeah, I am good, but thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Gen X, yes, that was what I was afraid of. I would fall asleep if I was doing a live while laying down, or check it out. This is what it would look like. It would be me and like my chin, you know? That wouldn't be a good look, would it? So sitting up helps me stay awake and helps me offer this to you. So Joseph is saying, I used to keep a packing list in my suitcase. Here's a funny thing. I think of it, I remember I went to like Girl Scout camp a couple of times as I was growing up, and they had a packing list there. I kind of put my packing list in my head, which is so counter to what I typically do here, which is to say, get it out of your head and onto paper. So it's curious. It's curious to me, and I just kind of realized this. Why don't I use a packing list? I probably do that. Oh, don't worry. I have it up here. I do write down some things, but, I'll be like, okay, we'll be there 1, 2, 3 days. So that's 3 of these, 3 of these, 3 of these, and then I'm pretty much done. As you probably have guessed. And thank you very much for saying my hair looks good. Got a haircut yesterday. Got a mani-pedi. Look at me. I feel like I'm showing you my paws. My paws. I am very low maintenance as far as clothing and all that. So it doesn't take much for me to put a slightly dressier version. What do I mean by that? Like a black cardigan as opposed to a black hoodie. Slightly fancier sneaker type things. So being low maintenance just kind of takes it out of it. And thank you, Carla, you guys. I will tell Phil he did a good job. I was thinking it was a little bit short, but I'm getting used to it too. So thank you very much, you guys. Yeah, the funkier the better. The funkier the better. That's going to be a fun thing. I will share with you guys. I can already tell. This is me like manifesting something. You guys see me when I'm at my most casual. I'm in my pajamas. I got my hair is like, you know what I mean? I'm getting out of bed, no makeup, all that kind of stuff. I know there's going to be an opportunity for us at some point in the future where you're going to see a picture of me where I have all sorts of makeup on and stuff like that. That's going to be really fun. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I just know it's going to happen, and I promise to share it with you, okay? But in the meantime, please, enough about me. Enough about me. How about you? How about you? Okay? My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching here on TikTok, while TikTok is still here, is Destination Decluttered. Why destination, you say? Well, I love traveling, and when I have a travel destination I'm excited to get to, I will do things I ain't never done before in order to make it happen. Now, nothing illegal or painful or anything. I will just get myself out of inertia and doing things I've said I wanted to do, you know? So this is interesting. Joseph is saying I'm writing a new packing list, and Abbott Elementary is saying, coincidentally, I've been thinking I need a packing list for incidentals. Now, I always keep my my travel bag of minis always ready, and I already have my makeup is always in a bag anyway. So I've done a lot of pre-packing. Usually it's just throwing stuff in a bag, shutting it, and hoping it for the best. And yes, that one persona, I'm kind of manifesting it, but here's something fun. I just saw this because that one persona, is also giving Kara a virtual high five. Kara sold another thing she cleaned up in the garage during my live 2 nights ago and made $50. That is awesome, Kara. Oh, and here's a fun thing. So I am doing this TikTok live tonight. I have 2 more tomorrow. I want you guys to please continue on this good stuff, even when I'm traveling next week. Pop on a recorded TikTok live if it helps you. Reach out to somebody who you may have become like pen pals with here on TikTok and say, hey, I'm going to declutter for an hour this morning. You want to declutter at the same time? Maybe we could meet on Zoom, or maybe we can just call each other. Okay? So all the good stuff you've been doing ever since I've known you here on TikTok and during my lives specifically, please practice doing that even when I'm not around. This is where my destination / road trip analogy comes to the fact that sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't. Oftentimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I feel like a driver's ed teacher. I am here with you in your car in the passenger seat for a finite amount of time. I hope I always live in your heart or something. Maybe one of my mantras will go with you. But I am like a driver's ed teacher. I am in your life right now to, of course, we're going to have fun, but also to help you learn some skills that you guys just currently maybe don't have or you want to practice to get better, which is driving your life, as I used to call it, which is practicing some things, some actions, and learning a process. Much like when you learn how to parallel park, a certain order of operations that if you follow those things, it increases the likelihood that it's going to be easier for you to do something, like parallel parking or planning a road trip. So there I am. I'm a driver's ed teacher, and I'm also a travel agent for you. Where do you want to go? You tell me the destination. I can help you make a map to get there. I can help you plan it so it's less work for you. Okay? So think about those things. Okay? This is fun. This is fun. Kara says, oh, I will. I will. Once that selling snowball starts, poof, that money was in the garage all the time. Notice you said that selling snowball, that kind of, once the momentum hits, momentum begets momentum. Momentum less momentum. An object in motion tends to stay in motion unless it comes up against resistance, right? Isn't that science or something? So getting yourself in motion is often the hardest part. Tomorrow, for example, I remember a friend of mine saying that, tomorrow I'm going to be on an airplane. And they say that an airplane and a rocket uses most of its fuel just to start and get up. Once it's up there, it's kind of coasting along. Whoosh, and then it has to do something else to land. So if it takes you a little bit to get going, consider yourself like a super jet plane. It may take a little bit, but once you get going, you're going to go whoosh. You're going to be flying in the sky. Okay. There we go. Brittany Starr says, it's fun to learn skills here with you. It's totally amazing. I feel a bit like my own personal Schoolhouse Rock. I love it. And thank you. My shawl. You like my shawl? My dramatic shawl? I got this. Actually, Kara, you might appreciate. I'm not saying anybody else would appreciate that. I got this from Uniqlo years ago. And this pattern right here is a Charles and Ray Ames kind of inspired design. So Lady V is asking a really good question that I'd love to help. And especially, here's a funny thing. We were just moments ago talking about master lists for like packing and a master list for decluttering, for example. She's saying, you mentioned a couple of master lists a couple of times. How detailed should I be? Now, I want to preface this so people who get freaked out by long lists do not go, oh, oh, like the lady on the beginning of PBS's Mystery, the Edward Gorey, and the lady kind of faints on the fainting couch. Oh. No. I honestly say, be as detailed as you possibly can. Be as detailed as you can, both in the steps that need to get there and your destination. Think about it. You say decluttered, well, that's something, but the more detail, the more color, the more shading, the more nuance that you can bring to what does a decluttered life look like to you, function like for you, feel like for you. The more details you can add, the more details you add that aren't just about visuals, but maybe how they they activate your senses. What does my decluttered home look like? Yeah, but what does it sound like? Is it busy with the hubbub of family, or is it nice and quiet? What does it smell like? Is it fresh air? Is it the smell of wood crackling on a fire? Does it smell like a candle, you know? What can you do to add some of those details? Because the more you can do that on the destination, it brings it to life, and you can and ideally you can imagine yourself being in that environment because you can close your eyes and conjure up the feels. So that's why details are important. Here's a funny thing, not a funny thing. That's just a lame intro that I just say when I'm tired. Here's something I love to say, so I want to share it with you. Many people say the devil is in the details. I firmly believe that the delight is in the details. So write that one down. That's a keeper from me. From me to you. From you to me, Pinky Lee. Okay? The delight is in the details. The other thing, too, is when you are decluttering, if you are making a list of all the things you need to do, you already have that list. You are just getting it out of your head and onto paper. The more detail-y you can be in that list, yes, you may make a long list, but it will be a long list of smaller actions. So each one of those actions will be easier to start. Because you could make a list with one item in it. Declutter the dining room. That's one thing, but there's a bunch of things on it. And one of the things we love to do here is calm down, chunk down, write down. So I say as many details as possible. And don't get overwhelmed by it. You have a master list. I have a master list on my computer. It's called Trello. I have so many lists. It helps me feel better knowing that all that is not up in my head. It helps my brain think better when I don't also have to use it as a filing cabinet. Okay? So don't be overwhelmed by the list, but pick it up. Pick it up, and you can then choose like a Chinese food restaurant. Choose 3 items from it and do those right items. Feel good about that. Then you can highlight them from the list. You've done them. Feel good about it. You can feel good. Good about hood. Right? Then don't use that as your daily list. Just pick some things off of that list because you've already told yourself that those are the things you want to do, that if they're done, your home gets decluttered. Why reinvent the wheel? Instead of going up here for the list all the time, have it written down and just go pull stuff off of it. Okay? All right. This is fun. Barbara, I love how you phrase this. I became an object, not in motion, about 2 hours ago, and I'm not changing that for a bit. Go for it. Okay? I am going to become a slug-a-bed within the next, 50 minutes from now. So, Therapy Gal Sue is saying, continuing chunking down my business papers. Awesome. I also signed up for February 2 party to have on my calendar. Yay! You guys, in case you don't know, because you're not on the mailing list, we do these things. We started them last year. They're wicked fun. It's called a decluttering party. It's because we have fun and we get stuff done. I have 4 of them on the Destination Decluttered calendar for people on the mailing list. And they are on Saturdays, and there's one Sunday. And what we do is you choose the day you want to show up, as many or as few as you want. They're from noon Eastern to 1:30 Eastern, and they are on Zoom. When you sign up, you buy a ticket. It's like $20, and you sign up and you get a Zoom link. We all show up on Zoom, and we're all there together, kind of like this. But then we all go practice decluttering for like 20-minute, spurts, I guess. Chunks. Then we come back and we check in with each other. Everybody doing okay? Is everybody all right? Okay, you're good? All right, let's go back. We do that 3 times. So you get a solid hour of decluttering. You get some camaraderie. You get to swap stories and tips. You get to meet some people. It's really wonderful. Also, 50% of the ticket price goes to a women's shelter. Okay? So I love that. If you're interested in that, hop on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. Scroll to the bottom, join the mailing list. Hey, Carla Jane, that's really a wonderful insight. You are just blooming with insights. Carla says, oh, my whole good golly. That must be a Southern thing. I just realized I have never lived alone. Before the end of the year, I may be, and I'm excited. Yeah, you're being independent. You're being independent. And you know what's cool? Is we are all, as Hermie, the almost dentist, would say, let's be independent together, right? So you may be alone. You may be the single human in your home, but you will never be lonely because we all know each other here. Okay? Yes, I'm putting things away without asking a soul. Yes, you can put your stuff anywhere you want. Yeah, isn't it kind of cool? I love that. So, one of the things I specifically did when I scheduled these multiple TikTok lives today, in the off chance that TikTok goes away this weekend, I frankly have no idea what's going on, is I did some of these evening ones to see if anybody from the West Coast or any other time zone than the East Coast was going to be able to, show up. So I am showing up for people who, yes, know me. You know we're going to stay in touch because we're on the mailing list. I love it. Sweet Rain, you're on the West Coast too. Very cool. I will share you that. Oh, Christine, my gosh, you're here all over the place and you're doing such good stuff. Smart is in Idaho. I love it. Yeah, and you've got the night owls. Now, I will confide in you guys. I am not a night owl, but I'm married to one. I am an early bird. But these evening ones have not been that bad. Now, that's high praise for me because I used to think, okay, JM's in Cali, I used to think I would not be good at an evening TikTok live. Now, some days, but I will say this, that these TikTok lives have shown me that I can do an evening TikTok live. Perhaps not right now, because I am kind of on the shoulder of this. I have done how many? I don't even know where my list is anymore. What do I want to say? My family credo, my family motto is it's around here somewhere. Yeah. Oh, look at all the Idahoans. There we go. Very cool. Right. ID Princess. Yeah. West Coast represent. Oregon. Love it. I will most likely, if I do some evening TikTok lives, I will do some. There we go. Sweet Rain Cynthia. I worked very hard all day teaching and now I'm slugging. Ooh, we got Montreal. I think you're maybe my first international person. Very cool. Rachel's in Alabama. You know who else is in Alabama? You know, Carla. Carla's in Alabama. We got Texas. We got Massachusetts. We got a Kara who's got a Kara. We got an Oregon. We got a Maryland. I'm doing Pennsylvania. And Cara with a K. I love it. We get California, Michigan. I love it. See how we're all connected. See how we're all connected. Ohio, Kentucky, New Jersey, Louisiana, Southwest Pennsylvania. Southwest, okay. I am Southeast Pennsylvania. Buffalo, Dima, we have people. Rhode Island, my goodness. We almost have the whole map. How cool is that? I love it. I love it. Ooh, we get a couple of New Jerseys. A bunch of Jerseys. You from Jersey? I'm from Jersey. I'm not from Jersey. I'm from Mass. There we go. Joseph, I might move into a shared living space, renting a room. How to be tidy? Okay. Wisconsin. All right. Douglasville. I know where that is. I've driven through that going to Reading. Awesome. 422. There we go. Krug 8 is on the South Shore. And so is, and look, Cara, you guys are freaking neighbors there down the shore. So funny. I've been PA so long, I always say down the shore, like things. So Joseph, let me help you with this. How to be tidy. Practice. Practice putting your items away after you use them. Set up a place that you establish. This is the home for this item. This is where my toothbrush goes. This is where I keep my things. You may even buy you may even find some sort of container to make sure that your things are containerized and tidy. Be mindful if it's a shared living space, you may have your own room, and just be a good person and take care of your stuff and do good in the communal areas. You want to be this is one of the reasons why I suggest people get their kids decluttering at an early age, because you want to train yourself to have good habits for not only when you live with other people, but maybe you live alone, so you don't kind of get into a mess. But keep your eye in mind. Like, notice you say you want to be tidy. Destination tidy. What does it mean for you to be tidy? What does it mean, even especially too, in a shared living space? What is the definition of tidy for that? Now, I at one point got promoted at work. This was when I was still up in Massachusetts, and I ended up sharing a house with 2 other women. And so it was one of those things where we each had our room, but there was communal spaces, and there were some nice clear rules about what was expected, as far as dirty dishes and people doing chores and stuff like that. So maybe have a conversation with the people that you're moving into about what the expectations are. The clearer you can delineate what the expectations are, both with other people and yourself. Notice I said those details. The delight is in the details. The more clear you are on what you're aiming for, the easier it is to get it. Okay? I hope that works, Joseph. I do. All right. Yeah, practice, then it becomes a muscle memory and not as hard to do. Yes, it really does. Remember when you didn't know how to drive a car and you had to think about everything? You could put a foot here and a foot here and a hand here and a hand here, and then my eyes go here, but then my eyes go here, and then I move this hand. Now you can go into your car and your body has learned that dance of driving. Decluttering is just like a dance. It is like learning some steps, and when you get your body involved in it, sometimes your muscle memory can take over. There we go. Small worlding is happening. I love a small, cool world. There we go. Look at Cara and Krug 08 are following each other back in Massachusetts. I love it. Okay? So this is what we do here. Okay? We may be struggling with a clutter thing, but we show up both in requesting some assistance, maybe just wanting some connection, maybe knowing it's a nice bunch of people who show up, but also helping somebody else. We also are making a connection, especially now. Again, if TikTok goes away, we cannot take this connection we have for granted. Even if it does show up, it may not be for forever. So make a plan. How are you going to stay connected? Now, I will admit, I am really feeling that slight sense of disconnection online, because I have also decided to sunset a lot of my interaction with Meta products. And luckily, I had kind of organically done that anyway. But I need to remind myself, how can I stay in contact with the people I really want to stay in contact with? There's plenty of people I have no interest in staying in contact with, but how can I do that? So I have started to grab people's link trees. I have started to follow people on YouTube. I have started to sign up for people's, what is that? Substacks or Patreons, or just seeing where they're going to show up. So what can you do to maintain connection with the people that you have really enjoyed spending time with when you're in TikTok? It's kind of like summer camp, right? Or the end of like high school, or you're graduating or something. Signing each other's yearbooks, exchanging, here's how to get in touch with me. Now, I offer wicked easy. I have my mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join, or just scroll to the bottom of the homepage. That's how you can stay in touch with me, and that's how I can stay in touch with you. Okay? As far as us showing up and doing a live like this, when I come back from my travels, if TikTok's around, hell's a poppin'. I'll be back here going, yay, you guys, this is awesome. If I come up and I almost turn it on and it doesn't work, I'll be over on YouTube, and I'm going to send an email to you guys being like, I'm back, I'm on YouTube, let's go all hang out. So, take part in creating the world you want. Connect with the people you want to connect with. Disconnect from the people you don't want to be connected to. Okay? Now, Michelle says, thank you for the tidy comments. Plastic lids and straws that were cleaned out of a drawer earlier. Yay. Now, I.A. Wild says, I do not know what will happen for me. Nobody really knows, but something good will emerge. Yes, what a lovely way to think of it. I don't know what's going to happen, but something lovely will emerge, something good. I said lovely. That's me. I'm an old person. Yeah, Kara says, I wish I could quit Meta. I can't because of my job in Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, got to get this stuff sold. I don't judge anybody. Like literally my husband, who's a musician, he has like 7,500 people there. That's one of his main ways of connecting with his fan base. He never was active in growing his one-on-one mailing list, though he has some people. So I am not going to judge anybody. I'm just going to do what feels right to me. And especially where there's many things that Mark Zuckerberg has done that I do not agree with and have negatively impacted my life and the lives of others. I don't want to participate in that, but I'm also not going to make you feel bad if you need to show up there. You do you, I do me, and we're all doing the best we can with what we have. Okay? So, decluttering. I will share this with you. Getting ready for a trip has never been easier. Oh, there we go. Somebody do a scheduled Beth Blinders in honor of Kat Roby, who has been kicking some serious butt. Yeah, so scheduled Beth Blinders. Maybe now, and this is kind of what I do on the decluttering parties we have, is the first 20 minutes is just getting started. The second 20 minutes is continuing, and then the last one is kind of knowing if you're winding down. Okay? There we go. That one persona. Finishing putting away sheets I started organizing over the weekend. Very cool. Kat, in honor of Kat. She's just not here tonight. That's okay. I love that. Notice how Kat inspired you to do something. We are all here creating a certain energy, and you can borrow somebody else's energy, and then you give it back. It's like this wonderful stone soup, a wonderful thing that a rising tide floats all boats. So I say to you, maybe right now at 9:28 Eastern is the time where maybe you're winding down. Maybe your boat was out there floating and now it's coming back into the harbor. You're bringing your boat back into the harbor, right? And you're going to go see, somebody for a lobster. Yep. Going to do that. Going to get a lobster. And then I'm going to, put on my pajamas. And I'm going to, do your things, right? Yeah, do a blessing for the boaters here. Yeah, bring your boat in. Make sure you don't bump into the dock. Go to Gloucester. Get yourself some fish sticks from Gorton's of Gloucester. Wendy tidied up her kitchen before errands. Got 2 bags of paperwork shredded. I feel good. Yay. Kayla Danielle, where are you from? I'm from Massachusetts originally. For the past I've lived outside of Mass for the past 24 years. I now live outside of Philadelphia. But you can hear me. Yeah. Did you ever see Old Ironside in Boston? I did. I really did. Here's a fun thing. My dad was in the Navy. He got piped ashore, I believe is what they called it. When he retired from the Navy, I was in like high school, and the service was on Old Ironside. It was pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. Oh, funny. That one persona says, "Don't hide that accent. I love it. Go full mass for a while." I will admit, it comes out when I'm tired, and it comes out when I'm drinking. Now, lucky for you guys, I'm not drinking. I also put it on as like a party trick. It was really funny. I worked in an office once, and we were doing social media for media. Oh my God, I almost put an R at the end of media. We were doing social media for small businesses all over the country. And I would often be called in to pronounce a town in Massachusetts when they were doing voiceovers for videos. And I was like, no. It's not like Sherman and Peabody. It's Sherman and Peabody. It's Gloucester. It's Worcester. It's Scituate. It's Methuen. You know, there was that guy here on TikTok. Oh, TikTok memories. They were saying, try to pronounce this word, you know. So, there we go. So I love this. Other good stuff. My second job is relying on Facebook. It's all good. Radical Gal 68 finished cleaning out one of our smaller rooms, and it looks so much bigger. And how does it feel when you walk in that room? I'm just curious. I hope it feels good. Hey, there we go. Scrap and Cat got first quarter estimates done in earlier live. I can go away and not worry about it. Yeah. That's a cool feeling. In between these TikTok lives, I will say, I was also tidying up some things, paying some bills, etc. So I feel good about leaving. I was decluttering my list of things to do. So good stuff. Jellybee is asking me, what is my adult beverage of choice? Water. Oh, Worcester. That was so funny. I like myself a nice cocktail. I do. I like a classic cocktail. I am typically the clear liquids versus the brown liquids. And I will drink a beer. I drink much less than I used to, which is probably a good thing. I'll share that with you guys. I guess it's from getting older. I'll have a nice glass of wine, you know. I used to be really into tiki drinks, and oh my goodness, sometimes those tiki drinks at like Kowloon in Saugus or the Mai Kai down in Fort Lauderdale, you know, I would go on these tiki weekenders. It was like weekender benders. And man, I would have so much like citrus juice in me and tropical fruit punch that I was like, I am never getting scurvy. You know? Oh, here we go. I'm going to show it off. Here, let me do this. Brand Girl says my Maine accent comes out when I talk with other Mainers. Yeah, I can hear that with people. It's so funny. I have family in New Hampshire, and I can talk. Yep. And it's a bit like, well, who are those two old guys? Bert and I. Yep. Going down the harbor, going to Gunkwit. Nope, can't get there from here. And I'm pretty much imitating. You know who I'm imitating? I swear to God, I feel like I'm the Pepperidge Farm guy. Pepperidge Farm remembers, right? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pawcatuck. Yeah. Yes, exactly, Carla Jane. Here, Sylacauga. Is that it? I hope it is. Yes. Yeah, it's Sylacauga, not Sylacauga, you know? I love it. See, we're learning some good stuff here, people. We're getting ourselves connected. Hey, this is really nice. Click and Clack. Yeah, the brothers. Don't Drive with My Brother. Yeah, I love that show. God, I used to listen to that when I first moved out of Massachusetts just to hear their accents. Yeah, Car Talk. A friend of mine worked for Car Talk. Dewey Cheatham and Howe. Mignon says, if I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, your decluttering tips have also helped me to be more organized with my diabetes care. I love that. Look at how your decluttering is improving the quality of your physical health. Notice that. How good is that? And yay, Carla Jane. See, I practiced. I asked for help when I needed it. I said, is it this way or is it that way? And she corrected me, and I practiced, and I got better. There we go. Scrap and Cat says, I'm in Alabama, and I still drink pop. 30 years later, I have an accent. I live in Pennsylvania, and while I don't drink a lot of Diet Coke, I will also say, hey, grab me a tonic. We used to call sodas tonic. Not just tonic water with quinine for a nice little G&T. No. Yes, car talk. That's how you do it. So, there we go. There we go. You guys, I love it. The Alabamians are getting together. Yeah, watching the Long Island Medium from here, my old home accent. There we go. Okay. So Joseph says, when getting anxious, I ask myself, can I stay on task and be okay with this for now and deal with it later? Yeah. So notice when you're noticing you're getting anxious. Notice if you start to get anxious. It's almost like sometimes it's like, notice when a headache starts coming on. Headaches are always my go-to because I get them. It's just how I'm wired. When I notice a headache is coming on, I try to do something about it as soon as possible. Because I have learned the hard way, if I ignore it and I ignore it and I ignore it, it just gets worse. So I try to nip it in the bud. So I say that the same with you, everybody, with anxiety. If you're starting to feel anxious, notice it, try to diffuse it, calm it down, slow it down, do some things, but also just get curious about what brought the anxiety on. Because if you know what brings it on, if you can anticipate it, like with me, oh, it might have had something to do with that cocktail I had last night. Then you can do something about it. Maybe I drink more waters in between the cocktails. Okay? Grab water and protein, exactly. You know, okay, it's Pop in Michigan. I love it. Okay. A Wild says, yes, the key here for me is perseverance. Everyone finds some way to get through the mess. Yes. And perseverance is just being tenacious. It's just showing up every day, doing a little bit, showing up every day, doing a little bit, and enjoying the journey when you're doing that. Because if you chunk it down, none of it should be too painful. Okay? Now, this is funny. 80s Girl Forever says, my mother-in-law says wash. Wash instead of wash. She was born in Massachusetts, can't remember the city. Interesting. Yeah, this is one of the things I do miss. I will say this about the fact that we are all, like, we all just interact and we're trying to, we're trying to pronounce things so other people can understand them. I love a regional accent. I really do. I started losing mine even when I grew up, my parents were like, trying to not have us have a certain Boston accent. But then when I did college radio, I really wanted to articulate my R's, right? I articulate my R's. And then also, I've been talking so long right now, I try to speak in a way that people understand me. But I do love a nice regional accent. Thank you, Carolyn, for saying it's a nice haircut. Thank you. And actually, you know what's fun, Rachel, when you were saying grab water and protein? I'm going to hydrate. There we go. All right. So, here's some stuff. Oh, you know what's real fun? I love the Roll Tide, and I learned that from Bistro Huddy. Does anybody else follow Bistro Huddy? Luckily, he's on other platforms. I freaking love that. There we go. Gail says, I once asked for a soda. I was given a glass of club soda. I was a kid under 10. I said soda when my parents said pop. Yeah. Yes, I love that. I was a telephone operator for almost 30 years. You'd be surprised at all the different accents. Very cool. That's what makes the world really cool. That's what makes our country so interesting. Is we have a lot in common, but there's also things that make us different. It's like a nice patchwork quilt. It's like, what was that? The Great American Melting Pot. Remember that? The Great American Melting Pot. It was part of Schoolhouse Rock. That's where my brain went. It was picturing like a pot, and somebody using maybe the handle of it as like a diving board. So cool. All right, you guys. I know we're winding down for the day. I know I am too. This is the thing. Is set yourself up for success tomorrow by doing some good stuff for you tonight. Maybe that's making sure you brush your teeth, you get the bed nice and comfy, you try to get some sleep. Hydrate. Make yourself comfortable. Congratulate yourself on your stuff you did do today. Write it down. Feel good about what you did do. And the stuff you didn't do, It's just another day. It can wait till tomorrow. The more you feel good about what you did, the more you will go to bed and you'll have good dreams. And you will wake up and remind yourself of the good stuff you did, and that will set you up for better success. I am. You know what? I said I am, and I haven't even read it. Yes, Ellen is saying you must be tired, Beth. I am, but I'm going to be here for another 20 minutes with you guys, you know? And this is what we're doing. Yeah, be satisfied with today's work. Kat Roby would be proud of you with that one persona. I love it. I love it. So good. So good. So good. So good. Sweet Caroline. So, what are you going to do now to set yourself up for success tomorrow? I really think sleep is so important. Sleep is when our brain and our body declutter internally. Sleep is when your body will, get rid of the toxins in your cells and bring it down to your plumbing. Let me be euphemistic. It allows you to fill up your tank again, to get some more energy for the next day. I already know myself, I am probably showing up in a different energy than I have all day because I totally can feel my body going, it's time for bed soon. And that's okay. Treat your body nicely. Feed it good food. Drink some water. Moisturize your hands. Moisturize your feet. Dress in something comfy. Make yourself comfortable. Get yourself some good sleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, say to yourself, hey, I had a pretty good day yesterday. What kind of good trouble can I get in today to make me create a world that I want to live in? And the world you live in can be from the skin within. It can be just in the four walls of your home. But you can start changing things you don't like. Okay? I hope that helps. Yeah. I think TikTok is safe, says Caroline, from extinction. Yes, community feeling and have fun. Yeah. I hope it is. I hope it is. But on the off chance it isn't, just make sure you have a plan. It can't ever hurt to have a plan B. You don't want to be caught saying, oh crap, that didn't work out, now what? It might be okay. And even just your plan B of saying, everything will be okay. Now this is fun. I love it. I love it. Connie is unloading the dishwasher and emptying the sink. Very cool. And A. Wild says, I plan and work through hopes and fears. Yes. Yes, hopes and fears. And fear is the thing that stops you, and hope is the thing that gets you going. Or is that Duncan? Isn't that the stop that keeps you going? Now, Wendy M. is already looking forward to tomorrow. I will be happy to walk into a clean and tidy kitchen in the morning. Future me will thank me. Yeah, what's there something you can do tonight that future you will thank you? Now, I know for myself it's going to be drinking some water, getting into bed, and as we like to say, honk some shoes. Yep, drink some fluids and stretch before you go to bed. Yep, and don't worry, I will be back tomorrow. But it's so important. This is part of this. This is a journey. I paced myself, and yet I'm still tired. And yet, I feel good about what I did. I made a plan. I did what I said I was going to do. That is a really good feeling, is to trust yourself, to keep your promises to yourself, to not break your promises to yourself or others. Betty is saying, so excited with all I did this week, traveling tomorrow. Thank you for your wisdom. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, 80s Girl Forever had a brain MRI today. It is so loud even when they give you the earplugs. You're sleeping in. Sleep well deserved. Okay? Yeah. Future me will thank me. I say that sometimes, honestly, when we're out and I start just drinking water when my husband has a gig as opposed to having yet another drink. There we go. Joseph has got 58 items on your packing list already. Yes, and I also, you're right, Rachel, I did an extra TikTok live. Again, when you get tired, and Carla knows about this, when you get tired, sometimes you stumble and make mistakes when you're distracted, And so, yeah, I misread my own schedule. I relied on the schedule in my head. I didn't really glance closely at either my digital or my paper calendar, and I showed up an hour early. It was fine. It was fine. Carla Jane had another great light bulb today. Why would I keep my word to others but not myself? I am valuable too. You are just on a roll. That is so true. Keeping promises to others is important. You are as important. You are even more important than other people. Practice keeping your promises to yourself, but also be flexible. A plan is just a plan. Don't be mean to yourself if you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Get curious why you didn't and do better the next time. Okay? There we go. Kara put your 2-week heart monitor on that came today. Taking care of health. I love it. Scrap and Cat made my grocery list for tomorrow while listening. I know you don't wait in the South for freeze. Yeah, I actually rewrote my schedule for tomorrow. Kind of, I usually use my calendar, but I blocked it out like this because the one that I had was getting messy, and that was part of me messing up stuff today as I got a little bit messy on my calendar. So I rewrote it neater so I would know what's going on. So that's got me set up for tomorrow. Tomorrow me is like going to be okay. Now, there we go. The emphasis on organizing, says A. Wild, the emphasis on organizing is especially helpful. Looking at messes optimistically is helpful. Yes, I don't mind. I enjoy looking at a mess because I know we can make it better. If it's all disorganized, we can organize it. If it's really big, we can chunk it down. Okay, good stuff. Carla Jane, like that guy that says, when you list what you love, where are you on the list? Wendy M says, ooh, that's a good one. Rachel started on your room tonight. Started late, but you're going to continue on Saturday. Yeah, it's just we show up. We show up and do this stuff. Okay? There we go. Wendy. Oh, Wendy, you bring up a good point I want to share. So Wendy says, I realize my office is my last major decluttering area. Then I can revisit the other areas. Yes, so decluttering is not a one and done. Decluttering happens like you weed your garden. It happens kind of a layer at a time. Now, you do it the first level and you're feeling pretty good in one room, and then you go to the other and the other and the other. And by that time, you may have gotten used to the amount of things in your house. It's different than it was, and you're starting to feel okay. But still, you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? No, that's not what you ask yourself. You could. But you say, okay, is there anything in this first room that I did that I still want to work on? I did a really good job, but there's anything else? Do I want to kind of zhuzh this up a little? Do I want to improve it? These multiple layers of decluttering will reduce. Each layer is going to be smaller and easier. But I just want to share with you that there's nothing wrong with having decluttered a room and then lived in it for a while and then realized maybe there's a few more things you want to declutter. It's an organic process, just like, combing out the weeds in the garden occasionally. Okay? Because sometimes you need to pull some weeds to get some new growth, or I don't know. Now I feel like I'm like, Kara, how do I talk about a garden? Much like I say, Erin, how do I talk about sports? Jellybee is saying, do you recommend scheduling tomorrow the day before? Oh, completely. Completely, yes, I do. Don't necessarily overschedule it, but jot down, envision the next day, and write down the map of next day. That's so as soon as you get up, you're not on a road trip, waking up in that hotel room and saying, oh crap, where am I headed today? What's my next journey? To me, I like the feeling of knowing that tomorrow is kind of mapped out so that when I get up, I don't have to think about it. I just follow the map. I go from here to here to here to here. And I have some space in between, and I'll pop some things in. And it might not go exactly as planned, but at least I have a plan. If you don't have a roadmap, you can easily get off track. I truly enjoy doing the planning because it just makes everything so much easier. Think about it. If you were on a road trip from, I always say, Pennsylvania to Palm Springs, you would know that you are good for a certain amount of hours behind the wheel a day, and then you start to lose your steam. So you would take a look at what if I can only drive 4 hours a day, and I want to enjoy the thing, I say, what's 4 hours from me? Is there a place I want to stop? And you'd make a plan. And then you'd say, okay, what's 4 hours from there? And what's 4 hours from there? And what's 4 hours from there? And you would kind of rough in a plan. Now, at the very beginning, am I going to know if I'm going to take a right or a left in Albuquerque? No. But I'm going to get a little bit more specific with the days immediately ahead of me. The days further out, kind of like when you paint a landscape, they get more fuzzy and lighter. But as they get closer, they get more sharp and in focus. Okay? A Wild is asking, like picking out your clothes for the next day. Yes. Now, A Wild is saying, my home is messy, but dishes, laundry are done. Otherwise, I have to tame the piles of paper. And you can. You can tame the piles of paper. Yeah. And did you ever get sick of yourself and your messes? Yeah. I said, I don't want to live like this anymore. This doesn't feel good. This is not who I want to be. This is not my beautiful house, right? Well, how did I get here? You know how I got here, David Byrne, is I grew up in a cluttered home, and I followed the habits and teachings of the people who raised me. And for a while there, it seemed like a good idea. I was imitating what they were doing. But then I was like, ooh, this doesn't feel good. This is not as fun as it used to be to have so much stuff. And then I said, well, let me experiment. How can I reduce my stuff? So I sold stuff for a while, but then that was fun, so I was buying more stuff. And then I was like, ooh, this selling is not fun. I don't want this much stuff. So I decided what I didn't want, and I put it down the basement. And then I said, oh, I'm going to sell that, and then I'll give it away. And then I did different things. That is not my beautiful wife. Exactly. Yeah. There we go. Wendy M. is sharing with A. Wild. I was in a deep depression before I took the first declutter step. My spirit is lighter now. Yeah. Letting the day go by. Yes. David Lynch passed away. Yeah. You know what? It's going to be us one day. Yeah. So, as Mary Oliver would say, what are you going to do with your one wild and precious life? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a hell of a lot of fun. I want to hang around with good people. I want to feel connected. I want to die feeling like I made a difference in my life and in the lives of other people. I want to move through this world in a pace that feels right for me. I want to help ever and hurt never. I want to encourage as opposed to discourage. Yes, I believe she was also, I don't know if she was from Mass. I know she spent time in Provincetown. What kind of person do you want to be? Write it down, And if you are the person you want to be, yay, keep doing that stuff. But there are certain things you're not too keen on. You can totally change those and work on them. And it's a little bit at a time. And it's never too late. Okay? Aw, Carla Jane. Carla Jane says, Beth, please be sure you know you have changed my life and my family's life. And notice how you're talking about changing family's life. Wendy's doing the same thing too. I don't want to leave my son a mess and clutter when my time has come. No, neither do I. I am actively trying to help so my mother doesn't leave us this mess, but I'm cool with it. I know how to deal. But I don't have any kids. Fine with me. Never wanted them, frankly. But I am an awesome auntie, and I don't want to I don't want clutter and stuff to be my legacy for them. So I do what I can to make sure that my life, my home is something I enjoy living in while I'm here, but I don't want them to be having to dig stuff out. I want to be very explicit with them that they can do whatever they want with this stuff, including just opening the doors and telling people to come in and take what they want. Okay? And you're welcome for me to this is one of the things I do. I know from feeling disconnected as a younger person that I remember once jokingly, I'll share this with you, in high school, saying I wanted connections. You know how in Charlie Brown they say, hey Lucy, what do you want for Christmas? And she says, real estate, right? She wants nickels, nickels, nickels. That clinking, clanking sound. How I love that clinking, clanking sound. I wanted connections. Now, I said it because people with connections seemed like they did cool things. They got like tickets and they got the good seats at the shows and stuff like that. But I know how it feels to be feeling alone and not connected, an outsider. So I know how good it can feel to feel connected. So I try to be that point of connection for other people. I love having parties, but do I like to be the center of attention? No. I delight in seeing people kind of at my parties. I introduce people because I know they have something similar, and then they get along, and then I digress. I remove myself from it and I go help somebody else. That's my happy spot, you know? So we get some good stuff here, and we're going to keep it going even if TikTok is not around. Okay? Michelle says, I'm at school tomorrow during your lives. Have a safe trip. Thank you very much. Michelle, I hope you have wanted to be on the mailing list, but if not, I don't push anybody. So tomorrow, everybody, just so you know, I am doing 2 TikTok lives in the morning prior to noontime Eastern. They are on the schedule for people on the mailing list. If you want to sign up for the mailing list to get the schedule, do that. Also, seriously, who knows what's going to happen in these next many days and week. I had already planned to be off the digital grid for many reasons, and I am going to be not participating in social media until the 28th, 29th, something like that. It seems like a million miles away, as the Plimsolls would say. But I want to know how to get in touch with you to let you know where I will be when I get back. If you want to know that info, just sign up for the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. Okay? Yeah, Therapy Gal Cell, this week has been transformative. I hope that's a good thing. Thank you. Also a roller coaster. Grateful for our time together. Yeah, I have never been a roller coaster gal. I am so much more merry-go-round. Okay? So, I look forward to getting off of this roller coaster. Yeah. Deborah Davis says, oh my God, my first live with intent to declutter with the group. You have a gift. Yay. Your ongoing words of encouragement are so helpful. You know what? Because I know that helps you get going. Being encouraged helps you do things, not being discouraged. Yeah. So good stuff. Good stuff here. So there was something I was going to mention. Yeah, I guess it was just this. There's this person, Dutch, who lives in New York, who's a teacher. Somehow I follow them on TikTok, and he was saying how these past 16 days of 2025 feel like 10 years, and they do, you know? And that's okay. There are going to be those roller coaster moments. We are living through interesting times. We are living through times that history books are going to write about. So I offer to you, when they write about this time in our history of our country, and they will, how do you want to show up? What are the stories you want to tell your great nieces and great aunts and whoever is around when you're the old person about what you did during these tumultuous, interesting times? And maybe what you did is you learned how to get your life together by decluttering, by finding the good people, by finding the helpers, right? And doing good stuff for people, helping, not hurting, you know? Yeah. Butterfly Mommy, my name is Beth. Destination Decluttered is my website, destinationdecluttered.com. I have a free mailing list you can hop on, destinationdecluttered.com. Just scroll to the bottom of the homepage, put your email address in there, and boom, you'll be on the list. I will then be able to contact you guys to let you know where I'm going to be if TikTok is not around when I come back from my trip. I most likely, frankly, will be on YouTube. So if you want to kind of pregame, you can always also follow me on YouTube. Also, if you follow me on YouTube, one of the things I am going to do before we leave on our jet plane tomorrow is going to make sure that all these TikTok lives that I've recorded and downloaded and have not mistakenly deleted, all of these TikTok lives that I've done all week, except for the one that I deleted, are going to be uploaded to the Destination Decluttered email YouTube channel. That channel gives you some things to watch, much like this TikTok, except I'll probably be a lot more energetic because I rarely have done 22 of these in a week. I usually barely do that in a month. But Destination Decluttered on YouTube. Next week when I'm not around, go to that, pop one in, listen to it as you declutter. Think of it as a podcast with a bonus screen you can check on occasionally. Yeah, Hey, that one persona, as a millennial, you're tired of once-in-a-lifetime events. Hey, as a Gen Xer, I'm equally as tired of them, you know? So, um, Melly510, advice for dealing with declutter setbacks because of physical ailments. I'm quite discouraged. Yes. Take care of your physical health. Take care of your mental health. Okay? The important part I want you to think of, everybody, there's one part of the decluttering that only you can do. Other parts you can outsource. You are the one who says, what do I want to happen? What do I want to happen? Do I want to keep this item? Do I not want to keep it? If I want to keep it, where does it go? You can do that and still be laying in bed recovering. Take care of yourself, though, first. You do not have to do the physical aspect yourself. You can get help, and there is help out there for that. Okay? So everybody, remember, the most important person in the whole wide world is you, and you hardly even know you. I would sing it, but my talker is tired, and my singing would sound like Michigan J. Frog. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. If I don't watch it, I'm going to sound like Brenda Vaccaro for Playtex tampons, okay? So that silliness being said, I will see you tomorrow, okay? I will see you tomorrow. Everybody, have a good evening. Have a good day tomorrow. You all rock. Look at this. You helped me make it through to the end of this Destination Decluttered TikTok Live. I hope it was valuable for you. And I will catch you on the flip side, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.